Hey, good evening, everybody, and what a beautiful evening it is, isn't it? I'm going to welcome the filmmakers and their guests here. My name is Peter Kariva. I'm the CEO and president of the Aquarium of Pacific, and we're really excited to have you filmmakers here and to see your products and your films. You know, making a film is much harder than anybody thinks. I know I've tried it. I've tried it with my kids. You think it's just, take some shots, string them together and show them, and wonderful. And these are 3-minute films. That makes it even harder. You might think it's easier, but it's harder because they have to be so tight. And so I think each of you filmmakers should be really, really proud of what you've accomplished. And so let's give all the filmmakers a round of applause. I want to go back to the really dark days of COVID, because that's how this began. We were shut down. We didn't have encounters. So much the heart and soul and the heartbeat of this aquarium is interacting with kids, with young people, inspiring them, engaging, teaching them, and getting inspired by them. That was shut down. And we're trying to figure out, it wasn't just that the kids were losing out, we were losing out. It was a pretty, frankly, depressing place. And we're trying to figure out what we could do when people couldn't assemble. Classes were closed. And I remember talking to Charlotte, and in those days, we just called Charlotte. We talked on the phone because we didn't come in and talk person to person. And Charlotte and we came up with this idea, this high school film festival, because during COVID, it was something people could do and be creative. It was a way of us engaging with high school students, engaging with our mission, and just to sort of take us out of the doldrums. And in that first film festival, we couldn't have everybody gather here. We had a few people with masks on. There were only maybe 7 or 8 schools represented. Now and it was almost all single students because they couldn't get together to make films as a team. You'll see tonight that a number of the films are team efforts. Started with 7, 8, or 8 films. Now there's 38 schools, 7 or 8 schools, and now there are 38 schools that entered the contest, students from 38 schools. And in spite of all this change and evolution, and we've, from basically just sort of an island of relief during the darkest days of COVID, we've come to really love this film festival. And one constant throughout has been Charlotte and Alan's vision. Young, beautiful minds. If you've ever talked to Alan, I don't care what the conversation, it could be about football, it could be about UCLA, USC, Caltech, it could be about science, brains, business, anything. I bet you he'll use the phrase, young, beautiful minds. And that's really a commitment to, Charlotte and Alan have this amazing commitment to youth, science, and art. And it's a commitment that's really profound and deep. And it's not science and art as separate worlds. It's science and art together. Science and research tells us what to care about. But it's storytelling and filmmaking that inspires us to do something about it. And so it's that pair that is so powerful. Charlotte and Alan realize that the outcome is not just what you're going to see on the screen up here. The outcome's not just the film. I'm sure when these students made the films, they were changed by it. You learn and discover your own creativity. You discover a voice. You discover that you have agency. You could do something. You could tell the world something. And maybe that process and how it changes the students may be more important even what we see on the screen. Well, before we start with the show, I have a really important announcement to make. Those of you who know me know that it's really hard for me to follow a script. But I'm going to follow a script because I think this is such an incredible announcement that I'll almost read it. I'm sure I'm going to stray. But now in this 4th year, the film festival is at a stage where we're tapping into so many students' creativity. And through visual storytelling and sharing their work, they're able to tell important messages with fellow students and share it with their community. The founding and presenting sponsors Dr. Allen and Charlotte Ginsburg have made the decision to provide funding to the Aquarium of the Pacific to ensure that the High Tide Student Film Festival continues to thrive the next 10 years. I'm going to stray a little bit from the script here, but the power of that type of gift cannot be overestimated. You know, doing something 1 year at a time, you scramble, it's hard to build from year to year. But now, thanks to Charlotte and Alan, we know we have 10 years to build this into something special, into something that really is iconic in Southern California. And Alan and Charlotte continue to be inspired by the creativity, humor, and study of the most critical ocean topics and the sea life by these amazing students. And I personally especially appreciate that Alan and Charlotte also recognize the importance to the aquarium of this film festival and the importance to the aquarium of bringing communities together to save the ocean. Alan and Charlotte, could you come up, please? I love these flowers. Thank you so much. Terrific. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll hold this so you can. We'll see if I don't drop it.
Yes. Well, it's interesting that Lady Charlotte and I have a great number of opportunities to attend sessions like this, and we really look forward to this one at the Aquarium of the Pacific. The creative force really enchants both Lady Charlotte and I. We started early 4 years ago. We didn't know whether it would have the impact, but realizing the ocean, 72% of the planet, most of our best protein comes from the ocean, and we really have to understand it better. People say we understand Mars, surface of Mars, and the moon much better than we do our own ocean. So the areas of aquaculture, bringing good protein to this country is very important. We have colder waters, but also we don't have to use as many antibiotics in the food, and that's an important consideration. The Aquarium of the Pacific has always been a leading force for us. We've always thought that beautiful minds are attracted. We think education should be really accentuated, PK is really one of our favorite people. He's very enchanted with education, both at UCLA and here, and we've had great results. We hope we're attracting the young people in Southern California to become creative, especially in the area of film, cinematography, and holoography. These are all things that lend themselves to the Aquarium of the Pacific, and we really have to show these animals creatively. We're on the brink of being able to communicate with dolphins and whales, and we're very close to being able to communicate with land animals. So I think that with that in mind, we are going to really care in a much different way about these animals, and we're looking forward to the great excitement of using artificial intelligence in this effect. Lady Charlotte, did you want to say a few things?
Yes, hi. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to thank Peter and Alan for sharing my vision of the beautiful ocean. To us, the ocean is the most alive thing in the world. I think life starts in the ocean and ends in the ocean. And we hope our beautiful ocean continues for many, many years into the future. And I want to congratulate you and wish all you students much success in your future. Alan and I fell in love with film and video. We worked with younger children too in elementary schools, and we could see when they were filming or trying to film that it really stirred their creativity, not just for filmmaking, but then they thought, oh, we can incorporate dance into this. We can incorporate singing, music, theater. So it opened up their whole world. And I'm so proud of this fact that I think the earlier we start with beautiful minds, the more of an impact it makes. And so we congratulate all of you and your beautiful minds and your creativity in making these beautiful videos about our beloved ocean. And I want to thank PK, and I want to thank Adina, and our commentators, Caleb, and our lovely lady who's joining with us. And so we want to do this every year, and so we decided to fund it, and much success, and we hope to see you next year, and we'll have more students here, and we'll have more topics. So thank you very much.
Well, luckily my job is done for the evening. And now we get to see the real talent, Callum and Jenny.
All right, everyone, welcome to our High Tide Film Festival for this year. We are super excited to get started. My name is Callum. Thank you so much, PK, for introducing ourselves. Do you want to introduce yourself too?
Hi guys, I'm Jenny. Thank you to everyone in the audience. We have some filmmakers here, we have some Aquarium board members here, we have some fans of the films, and we also have some people online. So just make sure, maybe not all your friends and family got to join us today in the room, but we do have some people watching online.
And let me tell you, I got the chance to see some of these films beforehand. They were amazing. For those of you who are out of high school, I'm so sorry, you're gonna have to bear with me. This event is for the high schoolers in the room. I see all of you here. Help us out. What is 4 plus 4? Because you all ate that film. Okay. Okay. You all ate that film. So for those of you who are a little bit older, when we say you ate that, we say you did an amazing job, right? And if you did an excellent job, that means you left no crumbs. Okay? You crunched and munched through those films. Alrighty, so if you hear me call out, what is 4 plus 4? I want you to say, my people are in the room.
Awesome.
Thank you. Okay, so here's how this film festival started, right? The students were challenged to make a 3-minute film in one of 3 different categories. Okay, it had to be their own creation, no help from adults, and they had to adhere to copyright guidelines. So that's a lot of work, isn't it? Right, especially for teens, you have so much stuff going on, you have school, you have tests, all kinds of things, right? This year, however, we've received quite a bit of films. Get this, we have 90 films in total that were submitted from 170 students representing 38 different high schools. Can we give yourselves a big round of applause? Amazing.
And these films were very competitively screened. So they went through a super rigorous process. The first of which starts with our AV team, who's in the room tonight. And they look through those films to make sure they're adhering to all those copyright rules. After that first screening or clearance happens, then it moves on to a team of 45 contributors from across the aquarium who evaluate them. These are our paid staff, our volunteers, our interns, and some special friends and supporters of the aquarium. It then, if your film rated highly amongst those 45 judges, advanced to a distinguished judging panel. Now this included folks like Aquarium of the Pacific board directors, some of our city council members, some film professionals, and other supporters of the aquarium. And those winning films from those screenings are what you're gonna see tonight. So we've gone through 3 different layers. That is amazing. So anyone who's here tonight, anyone whose film we're showing, you should feel very proud already because you have passed this gauntlet.
Yes, yes. Not only should you be proud, but there will be cash prizes as well. I'm hearing some noise over there. We love a cash prize, don't we? Also, not only do we have a cash prize, we also will invite you down. If you hear your names being called, come down here. We're going to give you an Oscar moment. And I wanted to preface this by saying, please don't feel nervous. Look at me, I'm up here. We're going to have a good time. We're just going to get to know a little bit more about you, maybe some behind-the-scene tidbits that we were all just dying to know, okay, about your film. That's all we're doing here. So don't come up here and knees are knocking and shit. No, we're going to have a good time up here, okay? All right.
Now, this film festival is organized into different categories, which your program will show you. We have 3 different categories, and in each of those categories, we have different awards. So tonight, we are going to start with the category titled Ocean Heroes and Superheroes. We have 3 amazing films that are going to be screened for you. They're not in any particular order, so we encourage you to watch these films and guess who might be winning in these categories. We will announce winners in each of the categories that fall into these different categories so many different times, I'm sorry. Staff pick, honorable mention, and best in category. And then at the very end of the film festival, we will do gold, silver, and bronze for the entire film festival. So with that, we're gonna get started with our Ocean Heroes and Superheroes. Now this category allowed for a lot of creativity and storytelling, and that's because heroes come in a lot of different forms, right? You could think of a Marvel hero that you see on television or in the movies, but you could be sitting next to a hero right now. And in fact, all of our films had that range. So I encourage you tonight to watch these films. You might tear up a little bit, would be something that I saw happening in some of the judging that happened earlier this spring. And without further ado, let's give a round of applause to the films in this category.
Dr. Robert Ballard, or as you may know him, the captain that discovered the Titanic, is a renowned explorer and scientist. Although the Titanic was his most famous discovery, Robert Ballard does not really consider it exploration. They were relocations. Ballard and his crew were using advanced technologies to find ships they already knew existed. However, when exploring the Black Sea, Ballard and his crew discovered ancient shipwrecks that dated back to the 8th century BC. Using their remotely operated vessels, or ROVs, Ballard and his crew dove into the Black Sea. They hoped that, due to the lifelessness of this area, ancient ships would be protected from worms that could eat away history. But upon entering the dead zone, the robot only found geological features like rocks or cliffs. That is until Dr. Ballard saw unnatural shapes. "That's not geology," he said, and he was right. Searching the bottom, the captain and his crew noticed the clear outline of an ancient wooden shipwreck. Inside the wreck, they discovered a massive stack of Grecian amphoras, which are archaic pots and containers used by ancient peoples to transport goods, but also as artworks. The story these amphoras told are what teach us about ancient civilizations. According to Dr. Ballard, we could see 2 cooking pots, as if a meal was on the fire when the ship went down. This ship, and additional ones that the ROV was able to document, dated back to the 8th century BC. That's over 2,700 years ago. Because of discoveries like this, historians can uncover what life was like at that prosperous time in Black Sea civilization. As Ballard says, "With these ancient wrecks, we were finding ships no one knew were there, and uncovering more about societies still full of mystery. Our discovery was actually providing new information that let us learn more about these ancient mariners, where they came from and where they sailed." Dr. Ballard followed his passions to uncover great mysteries and adventures. What might you find?
What is an ocean hero? Is it someone that defeats evil sharks, conquers deadly waves, or controls the underwater kingdom? My definition is a little different. Sometimes they can be regular people like you and me. In this story, we follow someone on his first day of being a lifeguard, inspired by Aquaman, his favorite hero. He's been waiting for this day since he was a little boy, since he's always looked up to heroes like Aquaman, that protect their environment the way Aquaman protects his kingdom, Atlantis. Little did this lifeguard know he was someone else's hero. As a little girl begins to admire him and the work he does, she dreams of being just like him. As she watches him, she thinks to herself, what does it take to become a hero? It could be as simple as someone picking up trash that pollutes our beaches. But what more can we do to be ocean heroes? Well, a lot. We can reduce the use of plastics, as lots can end up in the ocean and on beaches. We can choose to support businesses that conduct responsible fishing practices. Or we can educate others to be more mindful of the issues that plague the ocean. These are all superpowers that we can adopt to become our own ocean heroes.
Hey, we gotta go. Why are you watching him so much?
I want to be like when I grow up because he saves people.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that ocean heroes don't need to have any superpowers or be kings of the sea. They don't even need to be someone directly saving a life, like a lifeguard saving someone from drowning. Ocean heroes can be ordinary people like you and me, change makers, someone that won't hesitate to help, someone that inspires others. In this case, a lifeguard inspired a new helping hand, me. This is what makes him a hero, someone that leaves their footprint in the sand.
Everyone loves the ocean. Its beauty, its mystery, its vast presence and persistent rhythm. I grew up in Hermosa Beach, California, and our whole community was centered around the beach and all it had to offer. In third grade, I read an article about the plight of the manatee and decided it was my purpose to save these adorable creatures from extinction. Meeting legendary oceanographer Dr. Sylvia Earle a few years later really shifted my perspective. The ocean I loved so much was in danger. She broadened my thought process from saving a single species to saving the ocean as a whole. As I progressed in my academic career, I started to wonder about what really drives the cycles and properties that make the ocean such an important part of the Earth. My curiosity led me to a tiny but mighty organism. Microplankton are a fundamental part of how the ocean stores greenhouse gases and also supports the biodiversity of large organisms that we all know and love, such as dolphins, whales, and of course the manatee. As a PhD student, I now study how microplankton interact in aquatic food webs in the McMurdo dry valleys of Antarctica and as part of the McMurdo Long-Term Ecological Research Program. We collect long-term data that will tell us how these environments are changing along with the rest of the planet. The main goal of my research is learning how our oceans will respond to climate change. The hard truth is that as we change our world, we are destroying our life support. We are nothing without our oceans. Sylvia Earle says, "Many of us ask what I as one person can do. But history shows us that everything good and bad starts because somebody does something or does not do something." This sentiment carried me from California to Antarctica, the call to do something, to take personal responsibility for understanding and meeting the needs of our oceans, from microplankton to the manatee, from microscopic to the majestic.
Alrighty, so when you hear your name called, we want you to come all the way down to get that Oscar moment going, okay? And we're gonna have you come all the way down the steps and come to the middle of the stage for us, okay? We wanna get some good photos of you. We want all of your friends and family here today to be able to see you nice and clearly, right? So come all the way down, and we will have a chance to chat with you today.
And it's also really important to have the mic very close to your mouth. You might not realize this, but you cannot hear me if it's down here. So be bold and have the mic up here so everyone can hear you, especially the people at home.
Bold and courageous.
Exactly.
Love that. Love
Exactly,
that.
exactly.
Okay, so we are going to start this off by choosing our staff pick. And our staff pick award winner is California to Antarctica, Ollie Schneider and Mira Costa from Manhattan Beach. Congratulations. Okay, so now tell us, actually, you know what? Let's get that moment here. Let's come all the way to the middle of the floor. Tell us, what was the hardest part about making your film today?
It was just a lot of work. It was hours of sitting there on a video editing software, just grinding it out, and then right when you think you're finished, you watch it back and, oh, I gotta fix this real quick. And then it happens a lot of times.
Oh gosh, who hates work, right? Am I right? Me, it's me, I'm talking about myself. Alrighty, well, I think I heard another thing, your sister, right? Yeah. Rachel, she had a chance to meet someone really special who changed her life, and I believe that was here, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I'm not sure. You'd have to ask her if you want.
Ooh, we have the star. The heroes in the crowd. Why don't you stand up?
Wow. Afterwards, I want you to sign something for me, okay? I want your autograph. Okay, amazing. So you had the chance to meet Sylvia Earle, right? Amazing, such an amazing chance and opportunity, and we heard that that changed your entire trajectory of your life to this day. So that's a really special thing. And that was here, right? At the Aquarium of the Pacific? Oh, wow, amazing. Can we give her one more round of applause? Last but not least, do you want to thank anyone here in the audience today or at home watching?
I'd like to thank my mom just for supporting me through this and everything else in my life.
Well, thank you so much. Give him one more big round of applause, everyone. Amazing job. Beautiful film.
All right, thanks Callum and Ollie for kicking it off. We now have our second award of the night. This is the honorable mention in the category of ocean heroes and superheroes, and it's awarded to Miguel Palmerin and Susan Ung from Gretchen Whitney High School in Cerritos. They're both in the 11th grade. Why don't you guys come on down? We'd love to give you your awards. Wonderful film. This is a very powerful, emotional film in my mind. What was the inspiration?
We just really read the directions and like the explanation of like the topic, and we like read it so many times, and like we were just thinking about like the part where it said like ocean heroes are not only superheroes like Aquaman, and then we thought about like what makes someone a hero, and we really believe that it's anybody who like inspires others to like do good in the world.
Wonderful, what a very powerful sentiment. Now, do any of you guys know a lifeguard? Is there a lifeguard in your family? Have you guys had lifeguard training?
No, unfortunately, I don't know how to swim, so I'm really grateful for lifeguards in our beaches, so yeah.
And can you tell me a little bit about the filmmaking process? Was this your guys' first film together, and what sort of division of responsibilities might you have had?
Yeah, we've been like collaborating on stuff like all of high school since freshman year. We've had the same film class. So when our teacher posted this thing, we knew that we had to do it together, and yeah.
Let's give that teacher a shout out.
Oh, shout out Mr. David, our film teacher. He couldn't make it today.
And are there any other supporters of this film that you would like to make sure to thank tonight?
I would like to thank Alina and Derica Corcoles. Derica was the little girl in the film, and she was so fun to work with, and I love her so much.
Same, I'd like to thank Alina and Derica, and also my parents up there and my sisters. Thank you guys.
I also want to thank my dad up there for driving us to Seal Beach. He had to come home from work early, and we really appreciate it.
Wonderful. Thanks to all the people out there who drove places or were the boom operator or whatnot. Thank you so much for your great film, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Amazing job. I'm getting flashbacks. I'm remembering you in the film rolling off of the couch. Love that moment. Star moment. Absolutely. Okay, so next we have, and finally, our Best in Category award goes to Dr. Robert Ballard's Ancient Shipwreck by Destry Smith. Come on down. Really love your film as you're coming down. You know, one thing I noticed about your film, it was a lot of pictures, right? So that meant you had to be a storyteller. He's in his storytelling era, his filmmaking era. Take your award. I'm loving this for you. Yes, okay, so tell us a little bit about this film. How did you come about with this storytelling vibe here?
Well, for things like documentaries, first I looked at the Ocean Heroes idea, and I was like, well, I've always had this interest in Dr. Robert Ballard and oceanography, and I have his book, so I'm like, I think I'm pretty well educated for this topic. So in the idea of documentaries, I love Ken Burns style documentaries just because of how simple they are and how they use things like still photographs, which helps for because there's less copyright free footage that's Robert Ballard specific than photos. So I just used the photos and then dragged the camera over the photos and then use that to try to focus what I was talking about. So I think that answers your question.
It absolutely does. And what is 4 + 4, everyone? 8. You absolutely ate that film. Crunched and munched, no crumbs on the... Give him another round of applause. Give him another round of applause. Amazing. Before we go, I want you to just thank someone in the audience today, someone watching at home, or maybe anyone else. I see a big hand going up. Okay, so we're going to thank some people in the audience, right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Madeline, my little sister, who before I came down adamantly said, "Thank me."
Aww.
I want to thank my mom. I said her as the producer because she pays me for my chores, so I needed to get the copyrighted photos somehow. And then I want to thank my film teacher, Mr. Brown, some of my film classes up there. Hi, guys. I want to thank Dr. Robert Ballard for inspiring me like this, the Aquarium of the Pacific, everyone running this, Ginsburg's, hi, and, oh yeah, and my dad, I think he's there too, hi. Yeah, I think that covers it. If I missed anyone, they will let me know, so.
Awesome, thank you so much. Amazing film again. Let's give him a big round of applause. Go ahead and take your seat for me. Thank you so much. Amazing job. Amazing job. Okay, so now we are going to move into our next category, which is Intro to Coastal and Port Cities, or it's just Coastal and Port Cities. I really love these cities, especially because I live here in Long Beach. Sometimes on a relaxing day, I love to drive down PCH, blasting my music with my windows rolled down. Oh. maybe after this, I don't know. Okay, but I love that so much. We're gonna get into this and why they're so important and special to us, especially if you're here in Southern California, right? And here are the 3 films in no particular order. Let's get ready to watch and see if you can figure out who gets which award.
And what's really great about these films is that they're essentially love stories. Love stories about the places that are so close to us here geographically. So have that in mind while you're watching.
Yes.
All right. They'll see you in a minute.
Seal Beach is a very tight-knit, small community. It definitely has a small-town feel.
You get a real pride of the community, even though we're among 13 million people in the LA Orange County Basin. Lots of residents, like Aunt Gertie is, again, just a special part of our town.
Seal Beach is the tiny crown jewel of the Southern California coastline.
McGaw is right in the center of Seal Beach, and it is the only elementary school in Seal Beach. Students and families here really take on that small town beach vibe. So students like Clark, they have grown up here at the beach and they are surfing in the morning.
I love surfing because my dad forced to go in the water and surf, and then he taught me how to surf.
Now, I went through the school district here. During my childhood, I would come out and fish on the pier.
My favorite animal is in the ocean is sharks. Sharks rhyme with my name because my name is Clark the Shark.
Our mascot is a sea lion. The ocean theme itself is woven in throughout all grade levels within all of our curriculum.
All of us that live here notice that we get a lot of trash. In fact, we get all of the trash that comes down the San Gabriel River.
It is problematic because a lot of people like that area to surf in.
I go to the jetty where my secret spot is, and that's it.
When the trash does come down the river, the current brings it out and around the rock jetty and pushes it onto our beaches.
The littering down the San Gabriel River is hideous.
A couple of years ago, they carried 220 tons of trash off our beach from one event.
There was just a sewage spill up the river. That was so bad that they had to close our beach.
In the past, all of the efforts to deal with the trash situation have met with what I would call a bureaucratic stonewall. The city of Seal Beach is too small politically to be able to make this happen. About a month ago, we had a meeting here at City Hall with myself and our public works people. We created basically a commitment that we were going to do something about this.
We are very lucky that we have Councilman Kalmick and Assemblywoman Diane Dixon that are spearheading this effort.
We have reached a point where we've got a lot of people who can help us nodding their heads.
Don't litter. That is the better effort than to clean up after the people littering.
Every time we drop a wrapper on the street or we don't take that extra step to put our trash in a trash can, ultimately it's going to end up in our beaches.
Some of the kids that I went to school with, I hear from them now and then, and oh, how they wish they could come back to Seal Beach.
My name is Corinne Ramirez, and we are here at the Laguna Beach Farmers Market to talk to some farmers, vendors, and customers to hear about the benefits of shopping local and how communities built in a coastal town such as this.
Here at the farmers market, we have like the freshest produce around. It's like, come on, why would you not? Like you could just smell it, you could feel the difference when you're at a farmers market.
Sometimes in the supermarket, fruit's been sitting for a couple weeks, so you're getting really fresh food. And also supporting small local businesses, which is really important.
We
get our ingredients from local farmers and as fresh as we can get it.
And it's true, there is a difference. The locals know that this is the place to get quality product.
I go to the butcher here now. I don't buy my meat anywhere else. And when I bought the chicken for the first time, we were all kind of like, wow, that's what chicken's supposed to taste like.
Well, the clientele here is like really here for like wholesome foods, great quality stuff, and then our raising practices is really what brings people back constantly. So we are fully pastured outdoors 24/7. They eat stuff that naturally grows from the pasture as well as like bugs and worms, and that really reflects in the overall flavor of it.
Most often, wild caught salmon is caught with a gill net. They'll actually die in the nets and their blood coagulates into their meat. While we use a hook and line method, we're actually pulling fish in one at a time, and then we pressure bleed them on the boat so we get all the blood out. That's what makes the fish fishy and dry.
Here there are choices for everyone. Not only do they have great animal products, but excellent vegan options as well.
I'm really passionate about vegan flavors because it's not easy to find like good flavors or good food, like natural. Everything it's like soy or fake meat. No, with me you are gonna find real food.
And we're basically just trying to change the narrative about vegan food. Great thing about our food, we don't use any seed oils. So no soy oil, no canola, no added sugars, no preservatives. And we also soak and sprout all of our beans and our grains before we cook. That way it's a lot easier to digest.
Trying to find healthy salad dressings in supermarkets and grocery stores was difficult.
Something that's really special about it is that it's made with extra virgin olive oil and has no preservatives, super clean ingredients, which is something we're super passionate about.
With tons of healthy choices and community built at every booth, the locals of Laguna keep coming back week after week, making this farmers market essential to this beach town.
In Laguna, a lot of the locals are here. We see a lot of people we know.
For Girl Scouts, this is a great opportunity for us to come and sell to the locals and tell them what we're raising money for.
If you haven't been to a farmer's market, you need to come to one. You need to at least try out the difference because there is one and you'll see it instantly. Just stop on by.
This farmers market is located in Laguna Beach, California, open every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm Katie Ramirez, signing off.
How do I say it? I think the best way I can describe Long Beach is that it's a place with something for everybody.
Un lugar para todos.
Yan na namoy champuh ng aknia. Napakaraming itinuro sa akin.
A lo mejor es la comunidad, a lo mejor es nuestro orgullo en nuestro nombre, o a lo mejor es nuestra cultura.
I'm not sure how to put it, but it's just got that thing.
Naglungsod na ito tungkol sa buhay. Ang kahalagahan ng komunidad, kung paano ang pagiging masigasig, ang pamilya, ang pagtangkilik sa mga munting bagay tungkol sa buhay, pagkakaibigan, pagpapahalaga.
Pues puedo ir más y más y más.
Basically, what I'm trying to say, Long Beach will forever hold a place in my heart. I think I can speak for all of us when I say there's no place like home. maybe I'm biased. Maybe it's not that cool to people who haven't lived here, but they don't get it. And that's okay.
All right, as a reminder, we would like all of the winners to come down when we announce your name. We will have 3 awards in this category, just like last time. So, beginning with our staff pick. This goes to From Farm to Coast by Karina Ramirez and Talia Pompel from El Dorado High School in Placentia. All right, wonderful to see you. Come on up to the center here. You look lovely. I failed to mention, but the red carpet is one of my favorite attributes of tonight. How often do you get to walk down a red carpet? Not that often, and you guys rocked it, so wonderful job. Tell me, what was the inspiration for this film? Why profile a farmer's market?
So we're actually from Placentia, which is a little bit farther from the beach, but something we really love about the ocean is like everything that can kind of come from it. So we both love Laguna Beach, so just kind of going down there seemed natural to see like what can we find, what's over there, and the farmers market kind of called to us. I know Talia has some too.
Yeah, so this actually wasn't like, thanks. This actually wasn't like our first idea. We were looking for something around Laguna Beach because we love Laguna Beach, and a lot of things didn't work out. So we were like, oh, there's a farm. We didn't even know that the farmers market existed, and then we looked it up and we found it. And we were like, oh, let's just go and see who will talk to us. And we were really worried because like we didn't think people would be so eager to talk to us, and everyone was just really nice, which is really inspiring.
Wonderful. Now, you mentioned that you had a couple of false starts, and I think that's worth mentioning to others because some people might say, oh, I could never make a film, I'm not even gonna try. So maybe tell me about your process of how you began and started and began again and wound up with this award-winning film.
So our teacher, Mr. Switzer, who's over there, actually sent out an email telling us, or like giving us ideas for film festivals. And so we reached out to this this lady who does like a cool like moon thing at the beach. So we're like, oh my gosh.
Like a drum circle. Yeah. Very like spiritual.
And we thought that was cool. She called it like Mother Moon and Brother Ocean. And we're like, we have to talk to her. And we were so close, but unfortunately we couldn't talk to her, but that just opened a new avenue to like find the farmer's market. So there's a lot of closed doors, but honestly, like it was really cool just to where we ended up.
Wonderful, thank you. Hopefully it's inspiration for some submitters next year. Now, is there anyone in the audience or at home besides that wonderful teacher of yours that you would like to give special thanks to tonight?
Okay. Well, I think we'd both like to thank our families. They're sitting up there. Yeah. I would like to thank my parents personally for, all their support, and then also just teaching me the value of like education and caring about not just other people, but like the environment as well. And the importance of sharing other people's stories. And I would also like to thank my sister, Maya, who lives in Hawaii, but she's an oceanography major, so we're a little environmental family. Oh, and other kids in our film class, Kale Wood, Jaslyn Lopez, and JD Cavaluzzi. Thank you for coming.
And shout out to my family for going to the beach when we were younger. So I started to love the ocean from you guys, and I appreciate you so much and love you all.
Wonderful, thank you so much. You guys can return to your seats.
Amazing job, well done. Okay, so our next award goes to our honorable mention. And now this award goes to Seal Beach, protecting SoCal's tiny crown jewel, Emily Fitzgerald and Kyan Whiten. Come on down. Amazing job. Something that I loved about this film, just loved. My whole career has been in education, all of my academic experiences in education, and I loved Clark the Shark. Oh, I could not get over Clark the Shark. Oh, you guys sold me on that. Okay, tell me a little bit more about this film. I wanted to thank you as well for just inviting us into Seal Beach. I really felt like you just took us to Seal Beach, sat us down with a bunch of different people, all the way from the young all the way to the top, right? And we got to just talk with everybody. I felt like I was there. Tell us a little bit about the creative genius behind that. How did I get to feel that way right now? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so me and Emily both grew up in the Seal Beach area. We both went to McGaw. I live there now. She grew up there. We're just very involved in the community, so we are very passionate just about the people who live there, the environment, the community itself. So we really wanted to share that experience with people who may not live there or have never been. So that was kind of the idea for that.
Yes, and I love the character, you know, that was in that film. We saw so many different characters. We kind of went to the more professional side. We went to the fun side. We went all the way down to the little ones, right? How did you end up choosing each individual?
That was something me and Kyan kind of sat down and thought, how do we cover all these bases? We thought, okay, we went to McGaw, so we have that connection there, and we emailed the principal. It was a lot of just emailing people that we thought would cover that different ground, as well as Kyan is the Leo president of Seal Beach, of the volunteer group there, so he had the connection to Scott Weir, who spoke, as well as Lisa Landau, who brought on Joe Kalmick, who's the councilman for the area regarding the river.
Love that, love that. What that shows is that you have audacity, right? You are there and you're gonna reach out to these people via email at such a young age. That means you're gonna go very far. Can't wait to see where you both go in the future. I have to ask, Clark the Shark, are we gonna see an appearance, please? I need him to sign an autograph for me.
Unfortunately not.
Oh gosh, no, Clark the Shark. Okay, alrighty. Well, please tell Clark the Shark that he just did an amazing job in this film, okay? We love to see him. He brightened up everyone's day here today. Certainly mine, okay? Well, anyways, thank you so much. Do you have anyone in the audience that you want to shout out, give thanks to, or family members watching back home?
We want to thank Dr. Allen and Charlotte Ginsburg for sponsoring this event, first of all.
And then we'd also like to give a big thanks to everyone who was able to help participate with the interview. So Scott Weir, Clark the Shark, his family. We also had Aunt Gertie, Wendy Woods, the principal of McGaw.
Lisa Landau, Joe Kalmick, our film teacher, Mr. Brown. We wouldn't be here without him.
Yep, and then also big thanks to our families up in the audience right now. My mom, thank you so much for always supporting me. And then
we also want to thank the Aquarium for putting on this event.
yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you all. Thank you so much for coming down. We really appreciate you both. Go ahead and take your seats. Gotta get Clark the Shark in here next time. It's the last thing I do.
I don't know, Gertrude was also pretty good.
Oh, no,
Gertie.
yeah. Oh, yeah, she ate. She truly ate.
All right, we are now at the final award for this category, the Best in category, and that goes to The City and the Sunset by Leilani Castro, who's part of Long Beach Poly's 12th grade. Come on down, Leilani. Now, something that I think is extra powerful about your film is the soundtrack. So I would love for you to tell me about how you arrived on that song. Did you write that song? How many songs did you try before it became that one?
I think I tried like 3 different songs, but I didn't really like how they sounded with all the other voices in it. So I just went with what I thought was best sounding with the voices I chose.
Yeah, I think it was a very powerful choice. When I review or judge the films, I think soundtracks are a key differentiator for you aspiring filmmakers out there. Think about what's happening in the background. Now, tell me what inspired this film. It is a love story, like I said at the beginning. Tell me more about your love.
Honestly, what first started it is just like all the languages that are spoken in Long Beach. I chose like the most common ones that I know of. So Khmer, Spanish, English, and then, yeah. Honestly, just the different languages and cultures everybody has in Long Beach.
Wonderful. Yeah, it really represents the diversity of our city. And was this your first film, or you made many other films before?
This was my first this type of film, but I do photography, so but it was I do sports photography, so it's kind of different from this. So I don't really know. It's just, sports photography is a lot faster than what this is. So this was out of my comfort zone a little.
Oh, pushing your boundaries a little bit. I think you were pretty successful. Best in category is not so shabby on your first try. Are there any supporters or cast members that are here tonight that you want to give special thanks to?
None of them are here. Most of them are my coworkers that did the voices and my family's parents. And then the people in the video, one of them's my brother. The one with the cake is my brother. So.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for this film. We hope that you encourage others to submit and keep up with the photography as well. Have a great night.
Very beautiful job. Yes, especially with all the different languages capturing Long Beach, right? Just the essence
Absolutely.
of who we are. Such a diverse place to be in, and that's beautiful. So thank you for capturing that for us today. So we're going to segue into our next category, which is my favorite ocean species. Now, this was such a super popular category. We had so many submissions in this particular category here. Who doesn't have a favorite species? Mine is sea lions. They are the best. Are you judging me? I feel judged. But they are my favorite animals. I used to work with them back in the day. Oh, so I can't wait to see what your favorite animals are. Okay, so not only was this so popular, we have all of the previous awards that we have just given, but in conclusion, we will also have our gold, silver, and bronze awards in this category as well. Okay, so we're going to watch these films in my favorite ocean species in no particular order and see if you can tell who is going to be who. All right. Thank you very much.
The suspense is there.
The suspense is there.
Hey everybody, it's Ashley here. Welcome back to my... Whoa, it is raining like cats and dogs out there. Hey Ashley. Hey Morgan. Wait, are you recording a video? Yep, about octopus. You can watch if you like. Okay, I'll just sit over here. Hey everybody, I'm Morgan. I live next door. Like I was saying before, welcome back to my science lab, or more like my living room, but we can imagine. Today we're going to be talking about the creature in the sea called the octopus. Now, I bet when you think of octopus, you think of a pink creature like this, but there are actually over 150 species of octopus. And today we're going to be talking about 3 of them. The first one is the biggest of all octopus, the average one being 16 feet, the giant Pacific octopus. They can change color to blend in with their environment and mimic different rock and coral patterns. They're also highly intelligent, having learned to open jars, mimic other octopi, and solve mazes in lab tests. That's not so special. I can open jars, I can solve lab tests, I can mimic an octopus. Ooh, look, I'm an octopus. Not that hard. Well, the point is they're octopus. So? The second type of octopus is the one that's named after the Disney character Dumbo, the Dumbo octopus. These incredibly cute creatures are named after Dumbo because of their ears. They're super small, only 8 inches tall, and live on the ocean floor at depths of 9,800 feet to 13,000 feet. They get around by flapping their ears and steer with their little arms. They get around like Dumbo? That's cool. Hey, maybe they can fly! Well, if they came out of the water, they'd probably die. I still think it's a possibility. Let me ask Siri. Siri, can Dumbo octopus fly? No. Whatever, Siri. So they can't fly. The third octopus that we're going to talk about is the mimic octopus. These octopus are super unique because they can change their color and movements to mimic. Hey Ash, hey Morgan. Oh, hey guys. Sophia. I brought popsicles. Popsicles? Oh! I probably should have locked the door when I started this video. I got a popsicle and I'm back. Like I was saying before, the mimic octopus change their color and mimic the movements of other animals to blend in with their environment. Wait, octopus that mimic you? Well, not really people, more like... Well, not really people, more like... What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, wait, are you mimicking me because of the mimic octopus? Oh, wait, are you mimicking me because of the mimic octopus? Mimic octopus can also bury themselves into the ground to get away from predators. These octopus are amazing. Well, that's all for today, folks. Thanks for letting me tell you about these super cool octopus. Bye. Say bye, everybody. Oh, bye. I just wanted to give a huge thanks to the Aquarium of the Pacific for letting me film there. We also scored at the gift shop. Oh yeah, we got these amazing hats. Look, I'm an octopus. Thanks so much again. Bye, guys. Let's go see if the sharks accept me as one of their own. Okay, come on.
Seabirds. They are a key component of marine systems and help the environment thrive. They provide many ecosystem services to the economy and people as a whole. They help to shape coastal ecological processes in their own unique and vital role. But what would happen if there were no birds? On average, over 1 million seabirds are killed by human pollution each year. Even more consume plastics floating in the ocean, as there is currently an estimated 200 million metric tons of trash present in marine environments. A third of these birds are on the edge of extinction, but if we continue down the path we're headed with the added danger of climate change, that number may grow. So, what would happen if there were no seabirds in this world? For starters, the plankton population would skyrocket, which would most likely cause harmful algal blooms. However, the ocean wouldn't be the only ecosystem affected. Wetlands and brackish coastal estuaries rely on birds in a variety of different ways. Birds disperse seeds across the land, and some even pollinate plants. They also participate in recycling important nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus back into the soil of the ecosystem. In return, these estuaries provide migratory marine birds rest stops since they are so biologically productive. Economically, seabirds benefit people immensely. They help to maintain healthy fish populations for additional profit within fisheries. Furthermore, bird colonies often lead to ecotourism infrastructure, such as visitor centers and viewing platforms. All in all, they are extremely crucial animals. Unfortunately, birds are severely impacted by factory runoff, land loss, oil spills, pesticides, waste, and a lot more. Luckily, people are working to protect these incredible and necessary creatures. We are relocating them away from invasive species, protecting them with new acts, and organizing beach cleanups so that less plastic enters the food chain. Seabirds are a unique and critical part of the biosphere, which is exactly why we need to protect them.
If I had to choose my favorite ocean species, I'd have to say mermaids. But I'm not talking about the ones with long flowing hair and seashells. I'm thinking of those big gray mammals with their flat paddle-shaped tails. This is Manny, a manatee who adores his simple life in our home. But what Manny doesn't know is that he has a whole load of family living on the other coast. Manatees are lovable creatures who mainly settle in shallow estuaries and canals, any place that has abundant seagrass. Don't tell Manny, but we like to call them sea cows, as these aquatic herbivores spend most of their time eating. Their constant snack time is actually super beneficial, as they help keep seagrasses short, maintaining a healthy ecosystem. In order to digest all this food, they need lots of body heat. See, Manny, you're able to cuddle up in your sweater with some hot cocoa, but regular manatees lack blubber and need to migrate to warmer waters, in Florida especially. Interestingly, manatees love to reside in the warm waters around power plants, The thermal pollution from these plants actually acts as a hot tub for them, making their living environment way more comfortable. Speaking of living comfortably, manatees can have a long lifespan of up to 60 years. Don't you worry, Manny, you won't have any predators coming for you. However, while manatees' lives seem super easygoing, they're actually a very threatened species. Anthropogenic causes such as fertilizer and manure runoff enter waterways and causes detrimental algae blooms that destroy their main food source, seagrass. Not only that, but boating collisions with shallow residing manatees can also lead to broken fins or tails. But not to worry, Manny, there are many ways to protect you and your beloved mermaid family. Practicing manny-friendly boating by slowing down in designated manatee areas and using propeller guards will help limit collisions with our cuddly friends. Limiting fertilizer usage and establishing floating sanctuaries with seagrass beds will also keep our mannies safe and sound so that one day these creatures can revert back to their normal population levels. At the end of the day, manatees are our favorite species because of how kind and gentle they are. Within their thick skin holds a big heart, who's curious enough to learn about you as long as we keep them safe. It's so important that we protect the true mermaids of the sea, allowing even more mannies to prosper in our lifetime and the next.
Welcome, class! Today we have a special guest from the Aquarium of the Pacific to teach us about aquatic life. I would like to introduce you all to Dr. Potter. He will be teaching the class today. Have fun, kids!
Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Potter. Today I'll be teaching you a little bit about the Lodra canadensis, also known as the otter.
Oh, this is gonna be so boring. I don't want to be here. I'm calling my mom.
How can I make these kids listen to me? I have a great idea.
Good morning, class. People call me Dr. Potter, and today we'll learn about the tiny yet mighty otter. The word otter is from the Old English term and stems from the root word of water.
Oh, word?
The word otter's fully furred yet blind.
Blind?
And weigh about 130 G's. This you'll find.
When do sea otters give birth? How many pups are born?
Any season of the year and 3 a litter. I'm torn. River otters hold their breath for only up to 8 minutes.
Boy, ain't that lower than the record of World Guinness?
Conservation status, endangered population.
They're so cute, I want more.
Well then use your imagination, cause the population decline began in the mid-80s, 17.5 a year.
That's crazy.
Considered keystone species in their ecosystem. Sharks, killer whales, and even eagles eat them. They eat aquatic animals like fox turtles and fish, and live in Alaskan coastal waters.
Wow, I wish.
Live on average 15 years in their span of life and are polygamous, meaning they have more than one wife. Communicate with yelps and whistles just like an otter. That way you don't sound like this under the water.
But Dr. Potter, I still don't understand.
Then let Miss Tater Totter lend you a hand.
Let me start by saying otters are my favorite creature. They're so cute and cuddly and have many fun features. For example, otters hold each other's hands when they're sleeping as a way to prevent the group from drifting. But did you know they have the world's densest fur? Compared to other animals, I can concur. Reach swimming speeds up to 7 miles per hour. 3 to 4 minutes more than average human power. They're also able to dive up to 60 feet, and with teeth so sharp, they really can eat. Not only that, but they're so proper and clean. After every meal they wash.
Try that, Christine.
Cause otters reduce atmospheric sea dioxide by eating animals who eat kelp invasive dark side. There are 13 kinds of otters on the planet.
Facts, Miss T.
Gotta learn to keep them safe, ain't that right, Janet?
Yeah, I agree. And I agree too. I thought it would be boring, but it was really cool. Thanks to Dr. Potter for not making a diss. And thank you, Miss T. Totter.
Class dismissed!
Bye.
Live your life to the fullest.
Southern California's coastline isn't just about its sunny beaches and iconic palm trees. It's a living, breathing canvas for diverse ecosystems that extend far beyond the shoreline. These environments provide homes for some of the most amazing animals on this planet, and one of my personal favorites, the great white shark. These sharks play a vital role to the ecosystems they live in. They maintain balance in the environment and keep everything in check. Some people even consider them superheroes of the ocean due to their amazing healing and hunting abilities. As a surfer, I've spent a lot of time in the ocean, and 4 years ago when we moved to San Diego, I heard about the multiple shark nurseries along the coast. I'd seen plenty of footage online of shark aggregations close to shore, and I wanted to see it for myself. So one day I went down to the beach with my drone, put it in the air, and almost immediately struck gold. Believe it or not, there is nearly 10 sharks in this clip. It was this day that sparked my fascination for them. For years, these sharks have been considered mindless killers due to the image that Hollywood has given them, but that is simply not the case. Notice how curious this shark is of the lobster trap, and how it turns around to take a second look at it. Not once does it strike. After spending lots of time down the beach filming sharks, I'd been obsessed with the idea of capturing a clip of surfers clueless to a great white shark swimming right under it. And one summer's morning, that dream finally became a reality. I'm gonna leave you with a series of clips of great white sharks and surfers interacting. Pay special attention to the sharks' mannerisms and how they never look aggressive in any of the clips. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.
All right, let's give a round of applause to those 5 excellent films. We're going to start out with the staff pick in this category, and that goes to Seabirds by Braden Mustag from Long Beach Polytech. He's in grade 9. Braden, I understand that you are not a novice filmmaker. Can you tell me a little bit about your career thus far as a filmmaker?
Sure. I've made quite a few short films in the past, and recently I've been getting into making a lot of documentaries, and it fascinates me to like share my interests with the public and like bring them knowledge.
And so could you talk a little bit about how you selected the topic of this particular film? Had you been thinking about this idea for a while, or just when you heard about the contest?
Sure. I think that seabirds are often overlooked when people are thinking of ocean creatures, and I think that they're a vital role in the ocean ecosystem and are just as important as all the other components.
Do you have a favorite seabird?
I probably pelicans are really cool. They're probably my favorite.
Wonderful, wonderful. And are there any people here today or back at home that you would like to give a special shout out to for supporting you?
Yeah, I'd really like to thank my parents for supporting me along the way and driving me everywhere. It was a lot of work.
And I would also like to thank the Aquarium of the Pacific and the Ginsburgs for sponsoring this event.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's give you another round of applause.
Amazing job. Job well done, job well done. Our next film is our Honorable Mention Award, which will be Octopus, Octopi, and the Ocean They Occupy by Audrey Ramirez. Come on down, Audrey. Amazing job. For those of you who might not remember, those are the ones with the dolls here. I think we have some of our actors and actresses. Oh my, wow, come on up. Who are we with today?
So today we have Ashley in the pink dress and then Morgan over here in his little outfit.
Ashley and Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, Ashley and Morgan. I love this. I love this so much. Someone really close to me one time ago, they said that the most powerful person in the world is a storyteller, right? And you were amazing at telling your story through dolls today. Now, I think there was a difficult process, right? Because you had to go through copyright things. Can you tell us a little bit about the journey you went through to get these dolls on the large screen for us today?
Yes, so some toys are actually copyrighted, so you can't really use them in your film. And so I had to call American Girl, the people who make these dolls, and ask them if the dolls were copyrighted and if I could use them in my film. And I had to call first, and the first lady, she was really nice, but she didn't know anything about that. So then I had to email them, and they didn't get back to me. So it was like I was already halfway in through my film, and I had stopped, and I learned about the film in February, and so it was, I don't know if it was due in March or was it, yeah. So sometime, I learned about it later, so then I just decided to call again, and the lady who I reached, she actually worked in the legal department before, and so I got so lucky. And so she told me, yeah, it's fine, as long as it's not like you're making people buy your show. So that was a very big relief to know that. And
let's give her a big round of applause. There's a quote that I love to use with my teens at the Aquarium of the Pacific, and it's autographing your work with excellence. This was excellent. You really went out of your way. You had the audacity to call again when you didn't get an answer, right? That is something big. You're going to be big in the future. And guess what? What is 16 divided by 2, everyone? You crunched and you munched on that, okay? Amazing job. Is there anyone here in the crowd that you would like to thank, or anyone watching at home?
Yes, so all of these people supported me through the process. So the first one who was a huge help was Miss Adina Metz. She answered all of my questions, and she was just a big help. And also my family, all 11 of them who came tonight. And then Miss Summer Knapp, Stephanie Newsom, and Julie Norman. One of them is my ES, and then 2 of them are in my science class. One's my science teacher, and so they kind of inspired me to like look more into this. And then my school for posting the this festival, and then for our sponsors and everyone holding it here.
Amazing. Let's give her a big round of applause. I'll trade you. Thank you so much for coming today. Amazing job. Really proud of you and your efforts to make this happen.
All right, now, drum roll please, we come to festival-wide awards. So these, as a reminder, cut across. They were the most superlative films across the entire festival, irregardless of category. We've got 3. Starting off with, the bronze. The bronze award goes to Mermaids of the Sea. This film was created by Danielle Lee, Vidula Nedunuri, Gabriella Shorn. They are part of Granada Hills Charter High School and are in grades 11 and 12. Oh my goodness, we have the actors as well. Come step into the spotlight. We want to see your beautiful faces. This film was really quite inspiring. How did you choose this format?
Well, when I looked at the thing that said my favorite ocean species, I knew I wanted to do about manatees because they're my favorite ever since I got like the plushie. So we wanted to just like bring awareness to the species since not many people in California know about them since they're usually in Florida, and yeah.
And have you seen a manatee in the wild or in an aquarium?
In December, my family went to see manatees in Florida, so that was really nice.
Wow, that's great timing. What are your favorite ocean species? Are they also manatees, I hope?
Yeah, they are. That's why we all grouped together.
Wow, the coordination was around the species. I love it. What a great story. Now, I also understand that perhaps you created this film as part of a class project. Is that true?
Yeah, so I'm not part of that class, but it's Miss Brower's class. So Gabby just came up to me and she was like, yeah, we should do this film like Danielle's also doing it. And I was like, oh, well, okay.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what was the hardest part about working with plushies?
Well, I think you could see in our film we had the clear strings to tie the Manny's arms. So just making sure that those didn't fall off every single time was definitely a struggle.
Yeah, they kept falling off, so.
Well, there were no outtakes, but we do trust you on that. Did anybody help you operate those manatee arms or other thanks that you want to give tonight?
Well, me and Danielle did all the manatees, and then Vigila did the camera work. But I would like to thank my family, especially my mom and my sister, who they helped us cut out the leaves for the seagrass, and our teacher, Ms. Brower.
Wonderful.
Great. I'd also like to thank my parents for their endless support, and also Ms. Brower, our environmental science teacher, who first introduced and encouraged us to take on this project.
Wonderful. Huge shout out to teachers.
I would like to thank my parents for driving me to Gabby's house every day and bearing with me, staring at their house. And Mr. and Mrs. Shorn, thank you for having me at your house. And my sister.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for this wonderful film. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Be sure to take some pictures with the manatees, the rest of you guys.
Yes, that was a nice film. I love the manatees all over eating on the grass, and it was, I loved it. Okay, so we're going to move on to our Silver Award, which goes to Shoreline Wonders, Preston Dow. Can you please come on down? Such an important film that you've made today. Really loved it. Captivated the entire audience. I mean, we were all kind of holding our breaths when we saw that shark, swim super closely to the people, right? But sharks get such a bad rep, right? In reality, they're so important to our ecosystems. And here you are sharing that in such a captivating way, even with no words at the end, right? Can you tell us what about this film do you want people to take away from watching this film?
Maybe to see more like the beauty in the animal and like to have respect for him rather than just seeing them as like the predator that they're kind of depicted as.
Yeah, did anybody else see the sharks kind of swim away from the people, right? I see a lot of hands. We see people tend to think the opposite, right? But we saw with our own two eyes here today on this stage the very opposite. We saw them swim away. We saw a very peaceful and docile interaction. Thank you for capturing that. That is so important for us to capture that here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. Is there anyone here that you want to thank or shout out, or anyone at home?
Definitely my family and my grandparents in Australia. They especially my grandpa, he really kind of sparked my love for the ocean and stuff.
Love that. All the way in Australia, if you're watching, thank you so much. Yes, amazing job again. Seriously, thank you so much. Let's give him a big round of applause as he walks all the way back down to his seat. Amazing job.
All right. The final award of the evening has arrived. This is the Film Festival's Gold Award, and it goes to School of Fish. School of Fish was created by Kelly Chen, Caitlin Hendricks, Stella Carcian, and Kiana Lara from Granada Hills Charter High School, all in the 11th grade. All right, there we go. We got the awards worked out. Now, this film, or should I call it a music video, was quite inspiring. I think it's a great way when you change format to get people to really listen. So tell me more, was that your motivation? Did you want people to know a lot about otters and knew that music was the way to go?
I feel like when you just say, like, when you do it in a rap video, you get people's attention. So we just wanted to make it more of a fun video instead of an informational video. Like, I mean, it is an informational video.
It's both.
But we wanted it to be fun for the audience so that they kind of like can sing along, and if they had an APES, like an AP Environmental Science test on it, they could just sing the song and they would know what
Wow, it's a study tool too. That's wonderful.
Yeah, also, we didn't really have a good like idea at first. It was gonna be like animated. We were spitballing ideas, but Kiana, she like has experience making rap videos, and she suggested it to us.
Ooh, I would like to learn more about experience making rap videos. Tell me more.
For my other classes, I did a lot of rap videos. I did a Great Gatsby rap. I did a Roaring Twenties rap, and then I did another rap on thermochemistry. So, yeah, I have a little bit of experience, and I suggested it to them, but they're the true rappers, so they knew what they were doing.
Now, can our audience find these wonderful educational rap videos online somewhere?
I just gave them to my teachers.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And your teacher is here tonight, right?
Yes, our AP Environmental Science teacher, Miss Brower.
Woohoo! Thank you, Miss Bauer.
Yes.
And I haven't heard from you yet. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about what part of the film was the most interesting for you. What did you like participating in?
I just like doing the rap part in general because, you know, Kiana's like really experienced in that, but I'm not, and I wasn't really familiar with that, so it was really interesting.
Well, it seemed pretty flawless. So even though you were a novice rapper, you fit right in. Well, do you have anybody you'd like to thank today besides your teacher?
My mom, who came today, probably all of our family is a big support because they let us continuously go to Stella's house and film, which is really nice.
Thank you to my parents too for like letting us film in my house. And we did rearrange a few things, so thank you for letting us do that.
I'd like to thank my family who are here today, and then Miss B, obviously, and then our classmate Heather, who helped us film but couldn't make it. So shout out to her.
I want to thank my family, of course, Miss B, for encouraging us to submit this in the first place, because it was just originally supposed to be a school project. So we were so happy that we earned this award, so thank you guys.
Yeah, congratulations. The film was truly wonderful. I'll invite you guys to take back your seats, but make sure all award winners to come find us after the performance or after the final remarks so that we can take your photos, because you got some up here, but we need you in front of a wonderful backdrop as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Loved those films. I loved the rapping. You know, maybe we have some, okay, yes, we have something in common. You know, I used to do the raps too. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron. Okay, another day. Okay, another day.
Are yours on YouTube? Could we watch those?
Absolutely not.
Oh, that's too bad.
Absolutely not. Okay. Good question. All righty. But I wanted to thank everyone for coming out today. It takes a village, right? And I'm so proud of you all for showing up for these kids today to make these films.
Huge round of applause. Huge round of applause for everybody who supported these films. The actors, the parents, the teachers, the little siblings.
Yes. Before we close for tonight, I also had to thank one more person who has spent long hours all the way at night. And how do I know? We've been in the office together, and we are working on these things, sending emails back and forth. And it was just a big indicator that she cares about our youth, right? Not just here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, but also all throughout Southern California and really all over the world. She truly cares, and it shows in her work. I'm very proud to work alongside her, and I just cannot thank her enough for organizing all of this, all the behind the scenes, all of these things that you see here is because of this person as well, and that is Adina Metz. Can you just stand up for us? She really cares about you all and is sending emails to your teachers, she was really putting in the hours to make this possible. So I'm just so proud of you, Adina, for putting this together and just caring about our youth, okay? Really, really proud of you. Before we close and hear from a last final speaker, we'll invite Adina afterwards to come up and share a few more words, but we want to introduce Chris Stanford, who is a distinguished guest and one of our judges, as well as an amazing filmmaker himself. So please come on up so that you can share a few words to all of our students here today.
Thank you guys so much. First of all, wow, how inspiring were those films? Amazing. I have been doing this a long time and made a career of filmmaking, and I can tell you with full certainty, at this age, I would never have been able to create anything remotely close to what these kids did. So another round of applause for our filmmakers. What an amazing job. And to go take a play out of Peter's playbook, I'm going to go off script for a second. If there is a teacher here that had anything to do with any of these films, from encouraging kids to bending an ear, anything, would you please stand? I think we talked about a few. Could you guys stand for just a moment and let's look around? You guys, you don't get the appreciation that you so thoroughly deserve. I will tell you, I had a high school teacher change my life. He introduced me to a camera and encouraged me to tell stories, and I'm here tonight with you guys because of that teacher, so thank you for all that you do. Who has sat in a dark theater or at home on the sofa watching a film or a TV series and laughed out loud? Show of hands. Who's done that? Who has had big alligator tears rolling down their cheeks as they watched a different story? Who's done that? Who has not been able to sleep at night after a horror film that they watched? I see some. You're too young to be watching horror films, kid. We've all done it. That is the power of film. I can't think of another medium in human existence that has the ability to reach, to inspire, to move, encourage, inform, as many adjectives as Webster thought of. That is what film does. It is such a powerful medium. Storytelling can change the world. And you guys are off to the races. You hold in your hands, in your brains, the power to leave this world a little better than you found it. And you demonstrated that tonight. I, just like you guys, am working on a project that will, a shameless plug, Peter, June the 8th at the Bio Ball here, our annual fundraiser, we're premiering my newest film. And I too know how hard it is to work on these things, how much effort it takes. But just know that if you pursue this passion, you have the ability to change the world. And I just wanted to encourage you to listen to your hearts, follow what makes your heart sing, and encourage others to do the same. Thank you for all of your efforts, and I really enjoyed tonight. Thank you for having me. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris, for your words of wisdom. Callum, Jenny, what is 7 plus 1? Let's give them a hand for this evening. You ate it. It's incredibly joyful for me to be at this film festival and be here with all of you, but I have one word in my heart right now, and that is gratitude. So I just want to say thank you to the amazing students and filmmakers for all of the work that you've put into this, and for really taking time to learn about important ocean topics. Thank you for the teachers and the families that supported them. Thank you to the Ginsburgs for allowing this and helping this to be possible. I was challenged to come up here tonight to announce the film topics for next year, and I decided not to. And the reason why I decided not to is because I realized I wanted everybody here to be a part of those decisions and to have you keep participating in it with us, keep making your films, and keep coming back next year. So you will be hearing from me soon on topics that we are hoping to fulfill for next year and all the years moving forward. So at this point, I just want to invite all of our audience and guests to come down. We'll exit at the bottom of the theater here. We have a fun evening planned for you. Our galleries will be open. We have ice cream carts. You could make your own movie with a 360 photo booth that we have in the Great Hall and props. And I'd like to invite all of our students to come down with their awards so we can take a photo with you together. We actually have a table out in the Great Hall. If you'll just come down to the stage and we'll walk out with you so we can do that. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you for being here.